Welcome to HopePulse with Masi Njoroge. When life happens as it does, then there is a lifting up. HopePulse with Masi Njoroge.
Welcome to HopePulse. Today we are doing our 6th episode. We are discussing the topic, uniquely unique it is. In our last episodes, we discussed the why, what, and we said all these things happen because you're in a battlefield. We again discussed the soldier who is in the battlefield, and this soldier can get hurt, the soldier can get trapped, the soldier wins. Last time we discussed the stepping out because you are called, and we finally said step out. And as you're going through your process, do not compare yourself with anybody. We are continuing with that topic, and we are saying we are unique beings. And because I am unique, I should not compare myself with anybody. Just the way from one mother you get one is brown, one is dark, one is tall, one is short. That is the same way that our call and our purpose is very, very unique. And if I try in any way to follow another person's process, I try to do it the way so and so does it, I immediately shift myself from the purpose of God. So I will not be able to deliver what God intended me to do as long as I am doing it their way. I am doing it no matter how good that person is. Do it your way because your calling is very unique. I am hurt. I am going through a process. Go through your process in the unique way because God has called you in a very unique way. In the book of Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, the Lord says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I chose you, or I consecrated you and anointed you as a prophet among nations. So before God created me and you, He knew us. He chose us. Then He set us apart for a particular purpose. So it is very, very important that I am able to bring out the unique me. I am able to bring out that special thing that God has put in me. And the only way I can be able to effectively do that is when I take the challenge to do it my way. It may not look perfect, it may not look so ideal, but as I continue doing it and pursuing it in the unique way that God has called me to do, then it will blossom, and people now will now follow me because I have been able to succeed in doing it in my way. Think about this. When you look at the sector of transport, most of the innovators, imagine if the person who innovated the plane was imitating the person who developed the vehicle and kept on getting stuck there, you would not be having the plane. It is because they stood above that and started to utilize the unique abilities that God had put in them and taking the challenge to be able to think beyond the ordinary, that now today we have the planes. Most of the innovators, if you look at them, it is because they stepped beyond the ordinary. And so the unique thing that is put in them, they were able to bring it out. You may have sisters in the same house, but one can sing, the other one is quiet, the other one is, hot-tempered, another one is patient. How are they? Same mother, same father, yet so different in the way they approach things. So if they are so different even in the way they approach things, even as a family. Why do you expect that you can be able, your purpose is done done in the same way that another person who is different from you is doing it? So do not compare yourself. I want to give you a personal testimony. One time, I have a cousin that I love, a dear cousin to me, and I love that lady. And she has been very supportive to me through my healing process. So I think because of the love and the friendship that we share, she had a very long story, her life's journey, and she had done a book. And in that book, there's a particular story that she has shared, and she was talking about the silence of God and how she went to that, a retreat, and how in that moment of the silence of God and how she transited to now after that hearing God. And as I was listening to her and following her, I think out of admiration, in my healing process, which it is still good to learn from the other person. I was learning from her, and I am trying to carry some good points, but somehow I found myself photocopying her process into Mercy. And when I was doing that, I found myself, we have different personalities. There are people who are extroverts, I'll talk about it, and there are those who are introverts. You know, there are people we call their egos, their doves. We are all very different. So for her, she's a very contemplative, a quiet person. So what she was talking about is she went to a place where you go and meditate in solitude alone. That is her way. That is the process that she was working for her. Then Mercy comes and photocopies, and I went for that now contemplative session, and I took myself to a 3 days retreat. I remember I booked on a Friday so that I'm there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When I got myself there, I went to it's a big place, or a retreat center. So when I went there, Mercy goes and sits down to the first step. I went there, I remembered all the things I've committed, all the things I have done. And I was crying. I got stuck the whole afternoon that day. And I went, I had my lunch. And then the following day, you know, I'm repenting and repenting. I went the following day. The following day, I went now to the place. It is actually written, the silence of God. So I went and sat there. And I really seriously meditated. I meditated on all my problems, on all the things I had suffered, on all the people who have hurt me, and I meditated and I remembered and I brought them out, and by the time I was done, I was literally bursting from within. And all the anger, all the pain, all the frustrations, I had taken my 3 days to seriously meditate on them. Not as a healing process. Now I'm even not, I am disconnected with God. I went to fight God. But because the process I used was very different, by the time I was finishing the first call, I called the minister, I was screaming and crying, and you know, I feel like I want to beat everybody that, you know, has ever hurt me in my life. So when I finished, I left that place broken, frustrated, confused. You can imagine you have gone to a place of prayer for 3 days, like looking for healing, and you come out very broken. And what I came to learn, it is not that the process was wrong. It is only that I did it her way. It worked for her, but it doesn't have to work for me. Because when you are going through your healing process, or when you're trying to do something, you must first understand who you are, what works best for you. And I want us to pick these learning points. Number one of the key things that was very different between me and her, she's more introverted, so working in solitude works well for her. She's more quieter, so you know that meditative, silent nature will work better. I am more extroverted, so my process is different, because when introverts, their energy is from within, they recharge from within. Extroverts, their energy is out, so they want to talk about it, you want to share, you want to discuss that issue. Whereas these ones, they deal with it from within. So an introvert will most of the time they will journal, they'll write somewhere what they've gone through. They will want to walk somewhere where it's quiet, in solitude, spend some time alone, so they're able to, you know, recharge and process the situation they are going through. Sometimes extroverts enjoy time alone, but most of the time, when they are especially going through difficult situation, it works better in a support group, because their energy is out. So if you find yourself now you are going through a situation, for one person it will be okay to go into that space of solitude, but for another person you may be requiring a support group. So for me, the mistake I did, I took Mercy and tried to be my friend and my cousin. So I took her process and started processing my pain or my situation in the way that I worked for her. But because I am so unique and different, the process that is working for Mercy cannot work for her as much as we are very close and very good friends. For example, you might find two people, both of them have lost a loved one. The introverted person might want to spend more time alone. So they'll take a little longer maybe to get back to church, to get back to work, because they are trying to process, but because their way of processing is from inside, they are recharging from inside, they feel a bit, I would say, they get they get tired, they get overwhelmed when there are too many people. Everybody wants to tell them this. It wears them out. So that space of being alone works better for them. So you'll find such a person, or if you're that particular person, you will find, if you're dealing with such a person, if you keep on, hey, every time you want to talk to them, you'll find sometimes you feel like they don't want to talk. It's not that they don't want to talk. It's because the way they are made, that kind of energy external is not part of their strength. So you might find them getting choked and you say, hey, I'm trying to help this person, and they look like they are unresponsive, they are not positive to the help. Especially at that particular time when they're in that state of pain, you will find you have to work on yourself if you're an introvert to be able to welcome people, to be able to give them time to share, because most of the forces from within will be pulling you to being alone. But of course, you still need to give yourself that time, because you need to process a lot. But because you don't want to sink down into depression, then you take time to make sure you're writing, you're visiting, quiet nature places to distract your mind. So that again, you also don't get quiet and go down and sink into depression. Then the ones who are extroverted, sometimes you want to talk, and again, if as you're talking, you're also making the ones who are supporting you get tired. You're overwhelming them because you're on their case every time. It is about you, it's about your situation, it's about the problem, and because maybe they're also going through their own situations. So you'll find these people, they are all struggling, but struggling in different ways. But if they understand themselves, so the extroverted person who needs a support group will look for a good support group. They maybe will require to get very quickly to a good counselor, so that they have a place, a safe space to be able to air out and to speak out the things that they are going through. The other things that I also learned from that, it is good to separate, to appreciate the uniqueness that God has put in us. Number one, when I'm going through this process, we may be going through the same situation, but we are also not at the same level. The same level means what? It is yesterday. It may have happened the same day. But maybe in my journey, I'm at stage 1 and the other person is at stage 2. How we progress, it also depends on various factors. Maybe the way you've been brought up. Maybe the experiences that you have had. For example, if you suffer loss, one person, it's the first person they have lost in their family. It is the first experience. Then you have another person. This lady, she lost her husband. She has lost her child. Now, they are both processing maybe the death of a mother. The processing of these two people may be very different. This one may be stronger and maybe be able to process it faster because it's not the first time. This one, it may be very, very hard because it is the first time they're experiencing something like that. Also still, you can find this one who is doing it at that time, can find it very hard because depending on how they received and how they processed the first one. So the second one and the third one opens up the ones that were there before. So they can easily be crushed. And somebody out there may be looking at them and saying, why do they look like they are overdoing it? It is not necessarily that they are overdoing it. It's because our experiences in life are different. The stages at which we are, even in dealing with other things that we have encountered from birth, we are all at different levels. So when we encounter the same thing, if you put ourselves in the same page and try to process the situation in the same way, somebody along the way is going to get crushed. If you burden yourself to trying to process it and get over it the way the other person did, then it means at some point you're going to lose yourself and you'll feel like the world is so unfair. You start losing confidence in yourself because now you feel like maybe you have a problem, maybe you are too emotional, many things that makes you, because now you're looking at your page, you're reading the page of mercy, but now when you're reading it, you're not reading the notes of mercy, you are reading the notes of your friend, you're reading the notes of your faith, of your neighbor. So when you're trying, it is the book belongs to mercy, but mercy is reading the notes for the neighbor. How will mercy be able to perform as mercy as long as the notes that she's reading and trying to implement are the notes of the neighbor? So allow yourself to unleash the unique person that you are. I want us to look at other personalities and other things in our lives that make us so different that we need to allow to assess when we are looking at the things that we want to do in life. So apart from dealing with our healing, we are also called for a purpose. All of us, we are called for a purpose. And when you are called for a purpose, it means I have gone to college, maybe I've done accounts, I have done arts, I've done, in that particular accounting, one person will be working maybe in a hospital as an accountant. It is still the same career, but the calling is directed for something different. Another one, he still has done accounts, but maybe they will find themselves being led to a financial institution. Another one will be led to another direction. You find people, somebody has a gift as a preacher. One is an apostle, another one is a teacher. Another one is called to, maybe the one is called to the reference, another one is called to the teaching ministry. All of them are gifted. If the one who is in the reference or the one who is an apostle tries to become a teacher, because there is a certain teacher who is doing so well and they are trying, yes, you learn from them, but you do not become them. You can take the good points of maybe the experiences they've had in the ministry, but you must remember, you are you. If I'm an apostle, my ministry will be different from that of a teacher, because a teacher is a teacher and an apostle is an apostle. So they are both working for the same master. The goal, the ultimate goal, they are winning souls for Christ, but in very different dimensions. Another one is maybe just called to serve among the poor and the weak. One is maybe to feed them, to clothe them, to visit them. Another one is to talk to them and to encourage them. Another one is to support the children. All of them, they are supporting them, but they are all doing it very differently. So if all of us are able to start in our space and to be able to thrive, it is when, as much as I want to do this thing, it is being done by other people, I recognize the fact that I am going to teach, I am going to sing, I am going to do this thing. This thing I'm going to do has been done by other people. But mercy has been called at this time, in this season, and is positioned for a particular group of people. So do not deliver it the way that person did, because maybe they did it because the calling, the people they were called to minister to required that. But now you have been called. You have been called for that particular group. Are you sure that method you are using is the one that they are going to hear? Are you sure that the language you are using or the rhythm you are using is the one that is going to touch them? So you are called doing the same thing, targeting the same people, but fulfilling very unique purposes. We have some few characters and personalities I want us to look at. And I want us to look at them with their personalities used by birds. And we have one type of personality that is a dove. A dove, it's kind, patience, people who loving, want to be at peace generally with other people. So if me, I'm a dove, I want to be kind, I want to consider people. So meaning, the way God has made me, my calling may be aligned to serving people. That is why he has prepared me and made me in a way that I'm patient, I'm able to listen to them, I'm able, I naturally will be able to release love to these people, because that is what God wants me to do. There is another personality who is an owl. An owl is quiet, very tactical, very analytical, very spectacle. So an owl is not out there. They will analyze situations. They'll be very cautious when they are taking their steps. Now, if an owl tries to become a dove, it will be very, very difficult. So let me give in terms of careers. This very analytical, a very cautious person may be very good when they are doing something to do with IT, because they are sitting, looking at all the codes and everything, and it works well for them because they are taking time, they are keen to the details. Now, the all kite wanted to be the people understanding them. So there is something in them that requires that social environment. They can, both of them, take IT, but the all will succeed more and will progress in that career. The dove may be thinking they are not good enough, but it's not that they are not good. They are just doing what is not good for them. But imagine that dove person goes and becomes a nurse. She will be one of the best nurses, because now these people, they need that love, they need that care, they need the patience, they need this person who can be able to listen to them and to hold them. So in that place, in that space, that person will work very well. Take the all there. They are very cautious. So these people, they have these diseases. I might catch one of the diseases. They do not want to talk so much. They don't want to be out there. They want to be alone. So if they both of them are in the same field and they are nurses, then here now the dove calls the shot. So the dove may be thinking of, this all is not good. It's not that the all is not good. That person is good. It is only that they are positioned in the wrong place. So when God made us, we are all good in our own way. But now, if I'm good, but in the wrong place, so meaning the grace and the good and the skills that I have are placed in a place where they are not needed. So what happens? You feel intimidated, you feel lost, you feel incapable, you feel unrecognized. And you strive so much and struggle to be able to perform because you are doing something that you are not made to do. We have other bad characters, the peacocks. The peacocks, they are out there, Sometimes they can be very intimidating. You want everybody to know. They want to please people. They are just there. You have to recognize that I am here. So they do things most of the time for the people, which is still also a strength. So you will find they will want attention. So if you don't recognize what they have done, they'll get hurt. So imagine now a peacock, now that person, people to see, to hear, they want that. That is their place. And then now you go and take them to an IT department and lock them there, or in an accounting office and lock them there. This person will not deliver anything. Actually, because they talk a lot, they are talking, and you make them their secretary. Before you know, the secrets of the secretary, all of them, they are out, because by nature that is who they are. So they will not even realize, because they will be talking. By the time they are done, they've already said what they were not supposed to know. You keep on firefighting. So they will fail in that career. Is it that they are bad? No. But imagine now that peacock being a politician out there. They will deliver. Take that person to marketing. They are marketers. Those marketers who are marketers, they sell things that they don't even understand, and they will convince you that this thing is in there because they think loudly, and they are just out. They enjoy being there. So even if they go to this office and to the other one and to the other one, that is where they are happy when they are out there. If you take the all to go and do marketing, they'll be very, very frustrated, because number one, they'll be using a lot of energy because they are trying to go there when they enjoy the solitude. And now you are telling them to go and talk to people. Imagine how they go and they are trying to sell, and then somebody says, why should I buy this thing? By just being told that, they will go home very frustrated. People don't even want to buy this product. I think these products are not good enough. Not because the whole is a bad person. It is just because they are doing what they are not meant to be. And then now the peacock, you take them and make them the secretary, or you take them to the IT department, they will fail you desperately. Now somebody will be sitting there and thinking they are so incapable, they are failures, but they are not necessarily bad. You take the same person now and take them to where their strength is, then they will be able to perform and they will deliver results that people, they will surprise the world because of the things they do. Take another person like Anigo. Anigo is a leader, aggressive, they are assertive. They dominate, they lead. Those are the leaders in the companies, in businesses. So, and they are a bit impatient. They want us, move. So they want you to be in the move. They want you to do it. They want you to project capability. Now, this ego, you take them to a social career where they are supposed to be dealing with the people who have lost hope, people who are emotionally broken, and they are wondering why all this crying. They think they are being babies. Can't you deal with it? Can't you just handle this thing? So now this person, the people will be saying, hey, this pastor is a challenge, because now he's supposed to be pastoring them and taking care of them. When they are crying, they are calling them, and now he's thinking these people are just being childish. Can you mature? So it's not that he's a bad person. Take him to a place where you needed administration, you needed direction. That person delivers. Because even when they are not sure, they are able to call the shot. This is the way we are going to do, and this thing needs to be done by this time and the other time. Take a DAF and you give them out that same position of leadership, because they want everybody to be happy. The moment they say we don't want it that way, now how do you want it? So you'll find they are okay with the people, but nothing is happening because they want to please everybody, and it's very difficult for everybody to be okay with everybody. You'll find a DAF can easily be conned. And then now take the case to the ego. How are you conned? But you see, now the DAF will have a problem with boundaries. So they are happy, they are laughing. So they receive people easily. When you talk to the old, before you can con an old, but you need to be very tactical, because they are very conscious. They have analyzed a number of things. So when they are addressing these things, even when they are processing things, it will be very, very different. So you are there and you want to do something. What do I want to do? First and foremost, understand, who are you? Who is Mercy? How does Mercy deal with her issues? What are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? What am I able to do best? Even if you do not know, please go to your counselor or somebody who will be able to work with you so that you are able to bring out that unique person that you are. If I go out there and I want to go and start singing, yes, I will sing. Tomorrow I'm required to go to a certain church and present. I am a no. Me and people is a no. Now, I will do that, but I will fail. Is it that I am not good? No, I am good. But then, is that the right career for me? I go there, I have taken hotel management, I want to manage hotels, blah, blah, and I am an ego, like for example, by character. I'm that kind of a person, I'm impatient, I'm what? Yes, I can start the hotel, but definitely, I do not go there, the position of being at the reception or the waiter. I can manage it from a managerial point of view. But if I'm the one out to deal with the members here, keep on smiling at them, how are you, you're welcome. By the time we are done by evening, you have already looked at some of them. Somebody was arguing about their change and you already lost your patience, and you are there, the business is going down, not because you cannot manage. You can manage, but are you placed in the right position? So what do you want to do in life? Are you really fulfilling the purpose of God? Because unless I am very clear on who I am, because who I am and my strengths and weaknesses, they speak to my calling. So first and foremost, what exactly am I doing? What was my inspiration? Am I preaching because my brother is a preacher? Am I writing books because my sister writes books? Am I in the hotel business because my mother was managing the hotel and I just found myself there? Am I in that business because another person was doing it? So go back to yourself and reassess yourself and ask yourself. We have said, go, take a step. But even as I'm taking my step, I'm taking that step towards what direction? For you to be able to perform, for you to be able to thrive, for you to be able to unleash your full potential, it is the moment you recognize who you are, you assess and bring out your unique person. And as you're also doing that, be very patient with you. There is always that first step. And the first step cannot be the same with the step number 20. So agree to make those mistakes. Because of course when I'm doing it in a unique way, the first thing I do, because the preacher who preached yesterday will feel like I didn't preach it exactly the way we are used to doing it. So because it's unique in it, allow yourself to make those mistakes and don't panic. I have written this book. I am doing this project and this is the business I want to do. Yes, people have hotels, but there's that unique way I want to do it. When I am doing it, it may not be applauded at the first instance, but even if it is not, recognize, of course, when you're dealing with new things, people will be skeptical. People will take time before they can understand this new thing that you're trying to do. But if you continue pursuing and persist in it, the God will be able, you'll be able to bring out that unique thing, that unique personality, and you'll be able to pursue not what your sister is pursuing, not the goal of your mother, not the purpose of your father. You will pursue the purpose of mercy. You will deliver. You will be able to live up to your purpose and you will be able to reach your destiny. Because as long as I am doing what another person is doing, as long as I am fulfilling or implementing the strategy for my neighbor, I will never become. I will always be below them. I will always depend on them because then they are following their purpose. Me, I'm not. So I will not be driving well enough because I'm off my space. So today, the take home is this. I am unique. You are unique. And because I am unique, in every step and stage of my life, I approach it with the uniqueness that God has put in me. So that I do that which I'm good in. I do that which I am convinced with the uniqueness, not reading the page of the other person. If I am going through a situation, I allow myself to process it, whether it is good or bad. It could even be something happy. It's a celebration. Maybe it could even be a wedding. There is somebody who wants a quiet wedding in a hotel, or 3 of them, or they just go to the church and it's done. There's somebody who enjoys the big one where the whole community and all the neighbors, all of them, they are okay. It is only that everybody is following their path. So today our call is, you're unique, I am unique. Just the way you are tall, another one is short. Another one is brown, another one is dark. You're unique. Take the step, but take it in your space, in your path, and follow your unique route. If you do that, you will become what God destined you to become. And be sure, when you do that, at the beginning, it will be difficult because it is unique, it is special, it has never been there. So the person who will first listen to it, they'll be experiencing something new. So some will be very happy and excited, others will doubt. But if you don't doubt yourself, you will not kill your destiny. So step out there. You are unique and your purpose is unique. You are called for a purpose. Don't follow their purpose. Follow your purpose. God bless you, and remember to keep that path of hope.
When life happens as it does, then there is a lifting up. HopePulse with Mercy Njoroge.